All right. Well, I'm really, really excited that all of you have hopped on here live. I know a bunch have asked if this was going to be recorded, which it is. So if you're watching the recording, that's great too. But like I just previously mentioned, I did share, or Jen shared to the Live Your Purpose page. There's a PDF file of notes for this training. And I did that because my hope was, sorry, mute everybody. My hope was, there we go, to have you kind of like a workshop sort of presentation and have you on your phone doing this along with me. Because I know for me, you can tell me all the things, but until I actually do it, it doesn't really stick for me. So I wanted to kind of take the note taking away. There are some blanks for some major points that I'll touch on for you to fill in, but the chunk of all the good information I have for you is on there. So if you don't have it printed out, it's on the Live Your Purpose page. It's a PDF file, or you can just message me and I can forward it to you. But that will be helpful to have in front of you right now. So getting started, I'm sure a good number of us are on here more familiar and comfortable with Facebook. It's been around longer. It's also an age generation thing. If you are 30 or above, you're probably more of a Facebook guru. If you're 30 or below, the millennial ages, you probably are more of an Instagram person. It's just when they came out, what we're more comfortable with. However, even if you're not in that 30 and below range, it still benefits you to be investing in growing your Instagram following to be able to use that to grow your Plexus business. And the top two reasons for that is, number one, using Instagram vastly expands your audience. It's such a huge, huge market. Facebook limits you on the number of followers you can have, which, 5,000 is still a lot, but Instagram is an unlimited number of followers. It just really opens a whole new door. And if you're new to Plexus, this might not have happened to you yet, but if you've been with us for a couple years, your Facebook network might be, for lack of a better term, a little bit dried up. Yes, we want to continue growing and building our network and all that jazz, but after you've been sharing this for a couple years, you can only grow so much so fast. Where Instagram is just like a whole new door you're opening and flooding that funnel of prospects for yourself. So number one is it just gives you that such a bigger, more vast audience. And then number two, Instagram is really a better platform for sales. I mean, I'm sure if you scrolled through your Instagram feed, you might have just thought, like not even searched anything on your computer or your phone, just thought about buying something yesterday, and it is somehow on your Instagram feed. Like, it's mind-blowing to me how that happens. That's a whole nother conversation, but it is a very sales forward market on Instagram, more so than it is on Facebook. Facebook to me is kind of like that homey friends, tight-knit group of people. For example, my Facebook is not public. Whereas Instagram, yes, you have people you know and probably crossover from Facebook of your network, but it's so much more. And it's not as close-knit. However, I'm going to touch on how you can still build relationships and connections on Instagram. It's just in a different way. So that leads me into, speaking of my Facebook not being public, you want your Instagram page, if you are using this for your, sorry, I have some more people here in the waiting room. There we go. For your Plexus business to grow, you need your Instagram account to be public. And that you can easily switch under the privacy settings of your Instagram account. And when I start mirroring my phone, if I remember, I can show you. It's from your home page, you just go to the top settings, privacy, and it's one simple click to public. If you want to be serious about growing your business on Instagram, your account must be public. And the other top tip is that you need to be committed, once you take this jump into Instagram and you make it public and you're like, I'm going to do this, you need to be committed to being active on your Instagram daily. That is a must. Now, does that mean you have to post, like make an Instagram post every day? No, but I'm going to be talking how you can be active on your Instagram daily to be able to continue to show your presence to people, stay relevant, keep adding value, and keep building those relationships and connections. So like I said, momentarily I'm going to be sharing, there's another one in the waiting room, my phone, and we're going to really dive in and look at all of this. But I just wanted to give you a general overview of how you want your Instagram page to be presented. And I feel like this is a crossover from Facebook. So when you have your posts and you're sharing different things, we all know it shouldn't be all plexus, okay? And Heather Lipscomb in her presentation talked about this also. Yes, plexus is a part of our lives, but it's just a part of our lives. We want to show how it blends into our life, but more so sharing things that we're doing. And that's why that's called branding and marketing on Instagram. And when I say the word branding, that is something that you need to kind of sit and think on. It's not something that might come easy. Another one, not something that might come easy to you to figure out what is my brand, but basically just kind of hone in on like 3, maybe 4 things that you consider yourself somewhat of an expert on. Okay, you don't have to know it all. Just like this Instagram training, I don't know it all, but I've done research. I'm comfortable with it. What are things you feel confident sharing about? That's your brand. Okay, so for me, hopefully when we're done with all this Corona crazy, my husband and I, we travel a lot. Okay, so traveling was part of my brand. I have a boxer dog who's the love of my life. So boxers and that's part of my brand. I'm also, yes, health and fitness with Plexus, but I've always been into health, nutrition, and fitness. That's part of my brand. So I'm posting 80 to 90% of those things. My family, the travels, my boxer, fitness things, okay? That really, I might trickle some Plexus things in there, but they're really more just me giving people that value. If they find value in it, some will, some won't. But 80 to 90% of your posts are going to be that. And then the other 10% is going to be your selling or your more direct Plexus posts. And that, like I said, is a good crossover from Facebook. We say the same things. You look back at your Facebook feed and the last 10 posts, you don't want any more than 2 to be direct Plexus posts. Very similar to Instagram. And I've heard this metaphor before, and I thought it was so great. It's jab, 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 right hook. So basically what that means is you want to give value, entertain, give value, entertain, all of these, and then offer people something. So it's jab, 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 right hook. Not like you're trying to knock anybody out, but basically I thought that metaphor was so great. It really kind of like painted that picture in my head. You're adding value, and then you're offering something. So I kind of just talked how Facebook and Instagram are similar there, but here's how they differ, and they differ big time. Instagram is strictly visual, okay? You want your feed, you want your Instagram page and your posts and your photos to be pretty, okay? Now, that doesn't mean you have to be a professional photographer and, you have to have the best lighting and this and that and know what you're doing. No, but what you do have to be is a really good editor, okay? And that's what I'm going to kind of transition into next, of my top editing tools that I use, because I am not a professional photographer. I got an iPhone, that's it, just like most of the others out there. But I have spent a lot of time kind of weeding through different apps and playing with them. And that's my biggest suggestion. I'm going to give you some great apps today. And if you find them great too, awesome. You might have other ones that work better for you, but just get in there and play with them. That's really the best way for you to figure out what's going to work best for you. So when it comes time to make a post, you're not like fumbling and you're like, oh, how do I do that? Like, get comfortable with it. And going back, because I think I missed one of the blanks. So for Instagram, I love this kind of comparison also. If anyone's on LinkedIn, Instagram's like your LinkedIn profile for Plexus. Okay, that is how kind of professional, put together that you want your Instagram to look. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, perfect photos. There's a way to edit to make them beautiful, pretty photos that anyone and everyone can do. So first and foremost, my top tips and tricks for editing are presets. Okay, so presets, admit one more there. Okay, presets, and I'm gonna demonstrate for you how to use these, but presets are different than filters, okay? They're kind of in the same category. They're for editing photos, but a filter, someone said this example one time, I think it's so helpful. A filter is like you have a picture and you have some color clear paper over here, and a filter, you just put it on top. But what happens is that causes your pictures to lose some clarity and get grainy. Whereas presets, you have your picture, presets go through your photo and enhance the clarity and also pull out shadows and brighten your photos and make them more clear and more professional looking. It's pretty amazing that you could take, the run-of-the-mill photo, put a preset on it, and it's like, whoa, did I just become a professional photographer? So presets are huge because they're going to enhance the clarity, but they're going to keep consistency on your Instagram page because we want that to look consistent in a color scheme. So I'm going to share my screen and see if I can. Okay. Give me a thumbs up if you all can see the background of my phone. Okay, perfect. All right, so yay! I played with this so long yesterday to figure out how to get my phone onto my computer. But I wanted to share this with you to just kind of show you in my phone here, there we go, what I'm talking about with a photo and then adding a preset. So on the left, these are both photos from Leaders Retreat out in San Diego, which was amazing. But the photos on the left, they're good photos, okay? They're Instagram-worthy photos. You can look at a picture and say, this is a really good picture. This is Instagram-worthy. Or, it's a cute picture, but maybe this would be more suited for Facebook. And those kind of photos you can still use on Instagram in your stories, which I will touch on that. But these two are, I planned out, thought out photos. And you can see on the left, the original photo, and then on the right is with the preset. It has taken out the shadows, it's made it pop. It looks more like a professional photo. Okay, the Bloomingdale's one of the store clerks took for me. Again, not a professional photographer. And the jumping one at the 5K walk, just one of the other girls took it for me. Again, not a professional photographer. But you put those presets on it and bam, it makes that picture look like you're on a photo shoot. Okay, so that's just an example I wanted to show you of the power of presets. So now I just want to take you to my Instagram page to show you, hold on, let me get that out of there. Okay, so when you pick presets, you want to think of your life, kind of where you live, what kind of pictures you take. So for me, I live in Orlando, Florida. It is bright and sunny 24/7. We are at the beach all the time. So I picked presets that are bright color pops, okay? And I can scroll through here, you can see all the pictures are bright color pops, okay? These were not all like this prior to the preset, but I put the preset on, it gave it that more professional look. It is a consistent color scheme, okay? It's appealing to the eye. It is visually appealing. So when you're gaining new followers, and you're making new friends on Instagram and they look at your page, they're going to be like, oh, this is pretty. I'm going to hang around and see what else she posts. Okay. Again, none of these are, I mean, some of these, this was more of a professional for our pregnancy announcement, but most of them are just pictures myself or my husband have taken. Now, again, ColourPop might not be your theme. Okay. I want to show you a couple examples. These people are like Facebook, or excuse me, Instagram gurus. Where is she? Abby Kappa. Okay. As you can see on Abby's, these are all presets on hers, but she went with more of like a darker, cool color theme. But notice it's very consistent through all her pictures. Okay. Another example is, let's see if it'll pull up, Rachel Rogers. She went with a very bright pink peach color preset throughout. But notice the consistency, okay? It's just visually appealing that you want your audience to see and think, okay, I want to stick around and see what else this person is going to be sharing, because it's visually appealing. So where do you purchase presets? Easy peasy. Oh, hold on. Where are we at? Here we go. On Etsy. And they're like $3 to $6 a preset. And actually right now, I don't know if it's from everything that's going on, but there's some crazy sales. Like you can purchase this preset, you get 10 different ones for $3.94. Okay, so like they're not expensive. I would suggest getting 1 to 3 presets that are kind of all in your color scheme, because some photos might work with one preset better than another. You might have to play with it a little bit. So for $3, I feel like you can buy 2 or 3 of these and be fine. But again, think before you purchase them, think of, what's like my color scheme? Like, how do you decorate your house? Think of it that way. Like what color scheme are you drawn to? And there are thousands of presets to choose from. And most of these people are awesome. Like sometimes I'll send them a photo and say, can you put your preset on this photo to see what it's going to look like for me before I purchase? And they will absolutely do that. And when you purchase the preset, it's just an automatic download, and they send step-by-step directions how to take the preset and put it into the app Lightroom, which we're going to talk about shortly, because that's the app that the presets need to be uploaded into for you to go in and edit. But like I said, whoever you purchase from on Etsy here, the preset, they will send you those directions. So don't feel like you'd have to do that on your own. But I just want to show you that can be purchased through Etsy. Okay, so some other apps, let me get my phone back up here, that I wanted to really point out that I have found to be super helpful. I have a whole like Instagram app folder on my phone to keep myself organized. So the first one is this Perfect 365. Okay, so most of the time I am a hot mess, okay? Plexus is my full time. I work from home. It's like my dog here. I rarely get out of my pajamas before 3 o'clock. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know. But I usually do not have my hair and makeup done. But sometimes I like need a photo, okay? Now, a lot of times when I do have my hair and makeup done, I'll do like a full-blown photo shoot. This is another thing Heather Lipscomb talked about in hers, and I have to stress again. Like after this call, I'm gonna go change my top a couple times and take some pictures and just have them saved in my phone, because I usually do not look like this, especially now when we can't even leave our houses. So, it's great to have that like supply of stock photos for you to be able to share. But this app, Perfect 365, is great because if you have a picture that you took, there we go. There. If you have a picture that you took and you're like, oh, I like this picture, I have a good post for it, but man, wish I had some makeup on in it. Okay, this app adds makeup to your photos. Now, some of these makeup looks, and I promise like the first one I picked, you might look crazy with some of these, but some of them, and I find like the super subtle, simple ones can really enhance a photo. So you just click on, I don't know if you saw there, I clicked on photo makeup, and you could click on the mirror. The mirror is like you're taking the picture at that point and it adds makeup. But I usually do it after the fact. So I click on photo makeup and I go into my recent photos. Okay, it's gonna add something crazy. So just, yeah, bear with me. Okay, so there was a picture. I'll show it to you in my feed here so you can see. It's a cute picture, I like it. I just felt like I looked a little sickly. Like I needed some color. And I'm like, I wanna use this picture, but I don't love it. I don't feel like it's Instagram worthy yet. Okay, that's when I went into here. I did not use that look, I promise. At the bottom, if you scroll across, there's all different makeup looks that you can pick from. So there's really two, and of course they're like towards the middle end, so they're not always the quickest to get to. But there's really two that I love that are very subtle. Mom Brain, even that kind of is a little much on that picture, or Classic, okay? And then you can go into this tools here and tone down, like I'd probably tone down the eyeshadow and the eyeliner even more. But it just kind of gave me a little rosy look. And I had so many compliments on that picture, like, oh, you look great. I'm like, thanks, it's makeup app. But that's just like a little tip to really help enhance your pictures. Again, you're going for that visual appeal. Another app I want to show you real quick is this Preview app. So, okay, so, oh, before I do that, Perfect 365 is free. And before we go into this Preview app, Facetune is another one that I really like. That's free as well. There is a paid version, but I feel like this retouch here, where you can whiten, smooth, conceal, I feel like that's in the free version enough for me to kind of work with something, okay? So those two are really good, kind of just like touching up a little bit before you make your post. And both of those pictures had the preset on it already, by the way. But now I want to kind of go into this Preview app. This is also free. So you're probably thinking like, that looks like your Instagram feed. This app organizes your pictures so you can plan out what your feed will look like. Again, all about that visual appeal. So I went an extra step because I like to drive myself bonkers, and I decided, oh, every third picture I'm gonna make Seder. I'm gonna put a white border around, which looks great and all, but oh my goodness, after the fact, I'm like, whew, I don't know if that was the smartest idea, because now it's like a pattern that I have to keep going. But this is how I plan that out, okay? And I can move things around. So as you can see, these are like a bunch of stock photos that I just haven't posted yet. Hold on, let's see. I think there's two people in the waiting room. Oh no, that's the chat. Okay, cool. Let me just double check. Admit. Okay, sorry about that. So this app is great because it helps you plan out what your page is going to look like. And this one, I mean, you can delete pictures. You know, you just highlight them, click on the delete button. I showed you, you can move them around. So this really helps me kind of get that visual feeling. So these have all been posted, this top 9 here. And then these down below I haven't posted yet. And I probably won't put them in that order, but I just threw them in there because it helps me keep track of what pictures I have that I've already edited and are in here and are saved, that I can just pull them up really quick. So that was another one. And then the other app I want to talk about is this Retouch right here. Now this one is $1.99, like for life to have it. I felt like that was an okay investment. I do think it's only for iPhone though. I could be wrong, I don't know, but I feel like I read somewhere that the Retouch is only for iPhone. But here's why I love this one. This can remove objects. Okay, so for example, I'm gonna use this picture. I was like debating whether or not to use it, but I'll just kind of throw it in there to spice up your Wednesday. So this is my husband, okay? So I wanted to post a picture of him for his birthday, but I found that was April 4th. But I was just scrolling back through my phone of the 3 bajillion quadrillion pictures I have on there, I had no photos of just him. They're either he and I or he and Seder. So I'm like, I could use this. I'm just gonna take Seder out of the picture. So this app can remove objects. So basically you go down here to object removal, and I either use the brush or the lasso. I'm gonna use the lasso for this. You can zoom in to help yourself so you don't take away anything that you don't want to. And you just kind of lasso around what you want to remove, click go, and Seder is gone. Now I still see his shadow there, so I might do it again and get rid of his shadow because it looks a little goofy. Okay, so there's my picture, just him, and I just go to the top here and I click save, and then I just go here, save as copy, and then that has been saved to, wait for it, my camera roll. Okay, so that's a really cool app. Again, it looks like this. It's called Retouch. I've used it, I can't tell you how many times. It just, you know, if there's something in your picture, like photo bomber in the back that you're like, this would have been a perfect picture if that person wasn't standing back there, you can take them out. Easy peasy, super cool. And then I'm gonna walk you through with that picture of Brett, how to use everything, all those apps that I just talked about. But I will, as a kind of final point, as far as tools and things to have, ring lights while you're taking your pictures. So again, you don't have to be a professional photographer, but lighting is huge. Okay, so when I say ring lights, I'm talking like you can have these little ones like Plexus had. I went ahead and purchased like a large ring light off Amazon. It was a little bit of an investment, but man, I cannot tell you how much I use that. So lighting can make or break a photo. So ring lights are definitely worth at least looking into. So let's go ahead and take that picture of Brett for his birthday. This is actually what I did because I already posted it on his birthday. It's exactly what I did using all of these apps that we just talked about. So I first went through, I took Seder out in the retouch. So now I'm gonna go into this Lightroom app. Remember I mentioned that previously? This is where your preset will be downloaded into. Again, there's going to be directions sent to you of how exactly to do that. But I'm gonna click into my Lightroom. So as you can see, these are all the photos that I've added presets to. But you just go down here to add, and then from camera roll, and it's gonna pull up your camera roll, and there's that picture of Brett that I want to edit. So yeah, it's a cool picture. Doesn't really look like a professional photo yet. So if you saw at the bottom, I scrolled over all the way to the right, presets. Okay, so those are the 3 presets I have. So I play with them. That's color bold, cool bold. To me, that looks a little blue, a little washed out. But then I change it to color pop, and to me, that preset looks good. Now I can play down here a little more with the lighting. Maybe I don't want it as much of an exposure. Maybe I want to make them look more tan, whatever. Okay, I'm happy with that. Cool. I'm gonna click the check mark in the top right corner. It's gonna add it to my Lightroom photo gallery, and then I'm going to save it and export to camera roll. So now it's back, wait for it, in my camera roll. So just look at the difference. I mean, it's like, cool, that's a nice picture. Wow, that's a really cool, like professional looking photo. All right, so I've used Retouch. I took Seder out. I just added the preset, okay? Didn't really need to work with either one of these for touch-ups. I would go to preview and plan this out and put it in well, it's probably in there. Yeah, as you can see, that's where I stuck it. That's where like I said, I already posted this one. But I put it in the preview. So now we're at the point we're ready to post it onto Instagram. Okay, so I'm gonna go into my Instagram. All right, and click on the plus sign. Okay, so here's the picture. You click on this little arrow to make it fit into the screen. You can zoom if you want. Then I'm gonna click next. Okay, here are these filters that I was talking about. Don't mess with those. Leave those alone. You've already done your preset, you're good. If you need to go into edit and maybe like sharpen it a little, you can. Usually after the preset, I let it go. So you're gonna click next. Okay, so I'm sure you've also been to this page, so you're gonna add your caption. So let's say I wanna make this a Plexus post. Okay, I'm gonna say body built by hashtag Plexus, and then I'll hashtag man ambassador. I don't have my fake nails on anymore and I cannot text without them. So bear with me. Hashtag Man Ambassador Monday, okay? So that's what I want for my caption. I'm gonna click okay. You want to tag as many people and things in your post as possible. Because again, if you're gonna be public, the more you tag people and things, the more it will be seen, okay? So let's say, well, I'm gonna tag Brett. So anyone in his network is gonna see the post. Let's say his swim trunks, which these ones aren't, but usually he wears the brand Chubby swim trunks. I'm gonna tag Chubby, so anybody that follows Chubbies, my picture could pop up on their feed, or when they search the hashtag Chubby. So I'm tagging as many people and things in the photo as I can. Always add a location, that's called a geotag. Okay, it gives you suggested locations of where you currently are, but that's not where this photo was taken. This was in Ponce Inlet, so you can just type it in and it'll pop up for you. When you add geotags, it increases the view by 15%, okay? Now, if you see down here where it says Facebook, you can select there to post it to Instagram and Facebook at the same time. Don't do that. Make sure that is deselected. Reason being, if you post them together, Facebook sometimes groups your Instagram posts together, and then you can't see the captions. It's very weird. So never ever post them together. Post it here on Instagram and then just do that little extra step and go and post it on Facebook if you are sharing it to both, which I don't always share every post to both. Depends on my network and the picture. But just a tip, do not click to select that. Now, the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add hashtags, okay? Hashtags, big reason for those, great way to gain more following, more followers. Hashtags increase the view of your photo by 25%, okay? So hashtags are important. You can use up to 30 hashtags for each post. The algorithm, just like Facebook, is constantly changing. I've heard 11 hashtags are best. I've heard 15 hashtags are best. I've heard that all 30 is best. You do what works for you, okay? But use hashtags because they do play a role in increasing the view of your post. Now, how I do hashtags, and this is just kind of like a thing I do, I kind of enter down and then I will add my hashtags here. You want to pick words that you think people are going to search for, okay? So I first look at the picture and I think, okay, what in this picture am I seeing that people could possibly search for? Because honestly, Instagram's like the new age encyclopedia. Okay, I need ideas for my baby shower. Guess where I went to look? Instagram. I hashtagged baby shower. It's like the new encyclopedia. And then all the posts that had hashtag baby shower came up, you know, baby shower, hashtag baby shower decor, hashtag little prince baby shower. Those are the things you want to be thinking, what things could people be searching for? So I look at all my picture, okay, what are things in my picture I can use? But then, because I do all 30, whether that's right or wrong, I do all 30 for my hashtags. But when I look at my picture, I'm like, okay, I have like 10 hashtags, but now I can't think of anything else. Here's another app. HashMe, right there. That one is free as well. There is a paid version, but I find the free version to work fine. So you type in a general hashtag, like, so the caption is, you know, body by Plexus. So let me type in hashtag fitness, okay? I'm looking, it's looking. It's going to give me some hashtag ideas that I can use. And you literally like click on them and click copy. Okay, so it says copied. So now I'm going back to Instagram and I'm pasting them in there. Now it has the end via HashMe app. I just delete that. Okay, so it's just like a little extra. Again, there's a paid version that I'm sure would probably give you more, but I find between looking at the picture and coming up with my own hashtags and then going to that HashMe app for some extras is great. If you hashtag Plexus Slim in HashMe, it gives you wonderful hashtags. So that's a point I wanted to make. Now, as far as hashtags go, general rule of thumb, you don't want to use a hashtag that's underused, but you don't want to use one that's overused. So for kind of like a number spread, you want to use a hashtag that's been used more than 40,000 times, but less than 1 million. Now, don't sit there all day and stress out because I guarantee you nutrition's been used more than 1 million times. So what? But just as like a general rule of thumb, that's kind of the number range that you want to stay in. Now, a little tip that I do is I will, so as I said, every third picture is Seder. So a bunch of his hashtags are usually similar. I have saved those to the notes of my phone under like Instagram hashtag Seder. And I just can go and kind of copy paste. You don't want to always use the same hashtags, but sometimes if I'm in a rush or whatever, and I just don't have time to think of them on my own, that's great to be able to pull them up from the notes of your phone. Okay, so now it is, what is today? Wednesday. You noticed I hashtagged this Ambassador Monday. So I'm not planning on posting this today, but I did all the work. I edited the photo, I put in the caption, I added the hashtags, I tagged the people, I put the geotags, but I don't want to post this right now. But how can I save it and save all that work so that when next Monday comes and I'm running 1,000 errands and I don't have time to think, I can just pull it up quick? You can save it into Instagram. So just click this back arrow at the top a couple times, and you see it says, if you go back now, your image edits will be discarded unless you click on Save Draft. Okay, now up here, it saves your posts for you. And if you click on Manage, these are all posts that I've done and I've written captions for. I just haven't posted yet. I don't know if I will. I don't know, but they're there. Okay, so like if you click on photos, you'll see I have the text and all the hashtags are done. So when I want to, when I'm ready, I can click share, boom. So for me, because I travel or used to travel a lot on airplanes with no Wi-Fi, I'd sit there and write these posts out and save them into my Instagram. Make a use of your time. And then when the day comes that you want to make a post and you just don't have time to do it, they're there for you. So saving to Instagram is great. Okay, so let me get back to, I'm trying to chug along here. I know this is a lot of information. We'll do questions at the end if we have time, but I know it's like 1:15 already. Okay, so like I said, Instagram is visually appealing. You want to make it pretty. Now we've gone through different apps and things and presets and all that. So how do you make this not like a superficial connection with somebody? How do you take all that work you're doing, your LinkedIn Plexus resume on Instagram, how do you take that and make it into a relationship with someone that you want to be connecting with them? Well, in my opinion, there's two best ways to do it. One, with your posts and in the captions that you're doing, you want to be storytelling. Now, the post example I just gave was not the best storytelling, but for the most part, you want your post to be telling a story. Abby Kappa on Some Super Saturday Express did an amazing training on storytelling, and she's a great one to look at. She does a lot of storytelling in her posts. That's going to keep people around and make connections with them. But two is through stories. Okay, stories that we're going to transition into next. Stories are amazing. Stories are what most people actually look at, even more so than your posts. And stories are the raw, real you. okay? They do not have to be edited photos. They don't have to be perfect. They can be kind of, I call it a controlled free-for-all, because basically you're just putting in your story what you're doing that day. Okay, and that's kind of hard to plan out because you might not know what you're doing. Now, I will say I call it controlled free-for-all because you should always have something in your story. You never want your story to go dark, okay? Because stories only last for 24 hours. So after 24 hours, Instagram automatically deletes your story. Same with Facebook. But you never want your story to go dark. So you constantly want to be adding things. Again, it doesn't have to be like this huge thought process. Could literally be your dog laying on the front porch, whatever, okay? But stories are great. And I highly suggest every day in your story to talk about Plexus one way or another. Do I post about Plexus in my feeds on Facebook or Instagram every day? No. Do I share about Plexus in my stories every day? Yes. Okay. That is kind of my open for business sign. So just kind of clicking through my story, I'm not going to spend a lot of time. You want to be adding value, benefits of water, giving people a free workout that I did, talking about our quarantine bingo from last night. Okay, these are just examples. Videos in stories are great. You always want to be showing your face at least one point a day in a story. Videos are even better. However, 80% of people watch videos with the sound off. So you want to add wording to your video stories to entice people to turn that volume on. There's even a little GIF that you can select that says sound on if you want to be deliberate to tell people turn your sound on for this. You can share stories that other people tag you in. Right now I'm cooking up a storm. I'm sure everybody else is. I'm always sharing what I make. Okay. You want to entertain people in your stories. This is a Plexus post. This is my Plexus post for today, dealing with these issues. Okay, you want to make your stories engageable. That's the biggest thing. Of anything you do in your story, you want to encourage engagement, which you can do, you saw back here, through polls. People can vote on the polls, okay? And you can, down here in the corner, see who has seen your story. And if you click on that, it gives you the results. These people said, I want that workout. These people said, yes, mama's got to move. Do you notice that both of them are yes answers? Always do that. Don't ever give people the option to say no. We don't need that negativity. So encouraging that engagement is huge. Getting your face up there is huge. Back here, adding value to people, teaching them benefits of water, huge, okay? Sharing about Plexus at least once a day, huge. Keeping this in here, okay? Now, I did want to quickly show you on Facebook, if you're not familiar with this page, it's the One Plexus Instagram Stories page. This is a gold mine, y'all. This is where I get most of my Plexus posts from. It's loading. This is the one, the first one. It was just posted yesterday. Wait for it, my computer's just being slow. People share in here Instagram stories. Love that One Plexus community that we share everything. And I just copy those into my camera roll and put those into my story. So this page, if you're not on it, One Plexus Instagram Stories, check it out and get on it, because it's going to make sharing your story, Plexus in your stories, a whole heck of a lot easier. You don't have to sit there and completely reinvent the wheel. So real quick, trying to speed through this, y'all. Another story. So if you go to your homepage on Instagram, everybody's stories are up here. And the more you engage on people's stories, the more they're going to see your story. And the reason you don't want your story to go dark is because your story gets moved to the front of the line when you add something to it. So I haven't added anything to it in about 2 hours. And you want to space your story out. You don't want to add it all in the morning, because then, by afternoon, your story is going to be way down here and nobody's going to be seeing it. You want to space them out throughout the day. I haven't posted in my story for about 2 hours, so my story is kind of probably towards the end. But I just wanted to really quickly with you guys show an example of how I do a story quick. So I just made a post, and this is another kind of, I think I might have deleted I'll just use this one. I just made a post of this. My team did this collage. So cool. We borrowed it from another team, stole their idea, or shared it, copied it. So this is a post I just made on my page on Instagram. So if I want to put this in my story, that's another great thing you can do is put in your story for them to go look at your page, like redirecting them back to your page to read your post. Because the wording from my post isn't going to be on here, but I could, at the top here, play around and add some things. So really quick, I'm just going to show you. This little star guy can add different effects. Again, just get in there and play around. Some of you probably already know this. This little square guy, let's say I don't want any of the effects on it, is where a ton of stuff is. You can add your location. Again, that's going to increase the amount of views. You can tag people. You can add hashtags, increasing the amount of views. You can add music, all of these different things. Okay, here's where the polls come in, where you can type in here whatever you want it to be. Okay, let's say you add something and you're like, I don't want that. You just drag it down and delete it. Okay. You can add GIFs. I love GIFs. Type in anything. Plexus is a fun one. There's a lot of fun GIFs for Plexus. Okay, say I want that in the middle, whatever. A lot of times, anytime you add a new post and you want to put it in there and redirect, sometimes I will like put new post and kind of like almost cover the whole thing up to entice people and make them want to go, oh, well, what is this new post? So let's say I want to do that, okay? You can add, you can doodle, you can draw, okay? Oops, I don't want that. I just click undo. You can add text, type text. You can change the text at the top, change the color, make it bigger, smaller, just play with it, okay? Get that, oops, I don't want that. All right, so now I'm happy with it. Send to, share. Now, at this point, I do share to both my Instagram and Facebook story at the same time. Story is fine. If you're doing a post, no, okay? Then it's uploading, it's in my story. So now, in a second, wait for it. There we go. Now it's in my story, okay? So now at the top here of everybody else's feed, my story has popped to the front because I just added something new. And that's gonna sit there for 24 hours, okay? But what happens if, let me make sure I'm not missing anything. What happens if you love a story that you did, okay? Let's say, oh, I just think this is like the cutest picture I say, whatever. Okay, I want to, oops, I'm sorry. You can, let me go back to my page, do highlights of stories. So these are things that I put in my stories often. About me and Brett, fashion, travel, testimonies or Plexus testimonies, recipes I cook, from going up to QVC, the dance, I take a dance class, post a lot of those videos there. My passions, this is Plexus. So this story was from 97 weeks ago, but I loved it, so I saved it in my highlight. So this is going to be on my page now, here in my highlights for everyone to see forever. It's not gonna go away in 24 hours. So that's how you do a story highlight. You add highlights by clicking new here. Let me just go in here and show you how you can edit the highlight. You can change what cover photo you want. I just put emojis. You can add, these are all the things in that highlight already, but if you want to add some things that you recently did, okay, let's say for example, I wanna add this one on Plexus today. Okay, there, done. So now I'm gonna go really fast to the very end. Let me just show you. It's in my passion highlight right there at the very end. It does put them in the order, okay? And you can go in and take things out. There it is. It's in my highlight. So now that's gonna stay there always and forever. So until I take it off. So when somebody clicks on this passion highlight, that story is still going to be there. So that's a way that you can save stories that you really, really like or you want people to see. Again, it's all part of your branding. Okay, moving along because I'm really short on time. You guys are being awesome. Three things I just want to touch on really quick at the end here. So how do you gain more of a following? How do you increase your number of followers? Okay, why do you want to do that? Because it's a numbers game. More people that are following you, more eyes on your posts, the more apt people are to be intrigued by Plexus, okay? So hashtags are a great way that you can increase your following, but also giveaway loops. Okay, so real quick, giveaway loops are posted on Instagram. So let me go into the one that I am in. It's called Classy. I think I have this on your notes. Classy Marketing. Okay, this is the giveaway group that I am in. And you have to direct message them and ask to be added. She only lets so many in every so often. And then Giving with Grace was another one. I'm not part of that, but the last Super Saturday Express, the person that spoke on Instagram suggested that one. So the Giving with Grace is good too, but Classy Marketing I love. Okay, you want to pick a loop. If you're going to go this direction, you want to pick a loop that speaks to you. So I have been waiting and waiting for them to put a mom one on there because I've never been able to do a mom one before. But now that I'm pregnant, I'm like, yes, I can be part. I felt like I was okay to be part of this mom giveaway. So here's how it works. You do pay in an amount. So for her giveaways, it's usually, so you can see this one is full, okay? But she posts them every couple days that you can join in on. And basically you pay in a certain amount. So this one was a $40 pay-in. So I suggest I only do one of these a month, 2 at the most, okay? But when you pay in, there's a certain date. So this is going to be for April 27th. And she sends you all the directions on Instagram. And on that date, you're going to post the picture she gives you with the caption she gives you. You're going to add some hashtags. But then it's a small group of you that are posting it. From that post, you gain a ton of followers, okay? And it goes for 72 hours. So each day you do like a did you enter post, a last chance post, and she sends you when you should post, what you should say, like all the work is done for you. And each giveaway that I've done like this has gained me 500 to 700 followers, okay? I might gain 1,000 and then 200 or 300 drop off after the giveaway, but I'm left with 500 to 700 new followers that have their eyes on my page. Not all of them, but that is the way I have found to increase your amount of followers in the shortest amount of time. Hashtags will get you 1 or 2 new followers a day, but those giveaway loops are how you can blow up your following numbers. And as you know, once you hit 10,000 followers, then in your stories, you have the option of the swipe up where you can link it to things. So if you put a Plexus post of the pink drink, you can tell people to swipe up and it links it right to your Plexus page, okay? So that's when you hit 10,000 followers though. Okay, so the last 2 things I'm gonna speed through. On your note page, the next section's commenting, interacting. I'm gonna do that last. I'm gonna skip ahead to the Instagram TV, IGTV. This is a new feature. Well, not really new, but it's a newer feature on Instagram. So you get to it by clicking on this little magnifying glass, and then it's up top here, IGTV. So you can post videos. So IGTV is straight for videos. You can post videos on your Instagram feed, but only a minute long. It will cut your video off at a minute, okay? So anytime you wanna do a video longer than a minute, you can do Instagram Lives, but they go up into your story. So if you wanna do a video on your page, on your if I wanna put a video on here that's like 5 minutes, let's say I find a new makeup I love and I wanna do a makeup tutorial, whatever. I'm a Wen girl. Let's say I wanna do a whole Wen tutorial on how to use this product that I love, okay? But it's a 5-minute video. I am not able to post that here, okay? And if I put it in my story or I do a live, it's gonna be gone in 24 hours. So how you get a longer video to stay on your page is you click on this little guy, this little magnifying glass, and do IGTV, and then you click on add, okay? And you can either record a new video here. No, I'm sorry, you can't record a new video here. You can pick any of your videos. Now notice all of these are grayed out because they're shorter than a minute. But here's a workout video I did. This is 7 minutes and 44 seconds. I can use that video in IGTV, and it's gonna put the video on my feed, okay? Now, it's a newer feature. For some reason, the algorithm loves when you use IGTV. I personally need to do a better job with this. I don't use it often. But the more you use IGTV, the more views your posts are going to get. It just jacks up the eyes on your posts for whatever reason. It's part of the algorithm right now. So IGTV is definitely something to kind of just play around with. It's a great tool to use, but I will say to keep your page consistent, because if I would have put that workout video on there, that would not have really gone with this vibe. That would have like stuck out like a sore thumb. There's no way to put a preset on a video that I know of, at least. So there's an app called Video Shop that will put a photo in the front of the video that you can put your preset on to keep this consistent look, and then the video just plays behind it. Rachel Rogers has a good example of that. I actually learned about that app through her. So do you see these little TV things here? That is an IGTV post. So this is a video, but she has kept her feed consistent by putting a picture in it first. So if I click on that one, that's what you're gonna see first, but then it goes into her video, okay? And she's talking about pandemic precautions. And that app, again, is called Video Shop. And I am not 100% sure if that is free or not. I'm gonna have to check that one out. Okay, and last but not least, stop sharing. You guys have been troopers. Hopefully you found this helpful and valuable. I'm gonna go back to that section about commenting and interacting. So you've done all this work. You have, like, you have your editing tools. You're a pro on your stories. You've done loops and followers. Oh, good. Kayla said Video Shop has a free version. Awesome. You've done your loops. You've gained followers. So now, how do you turn that into Plexus prospects and Plexus business? Well, when you have thousands and thousands of followers, that can be very overwhelming. So my tip is to, on top of everything else I just said, find like a top 10, top 20, 10 if 20 is overwhelming to you, of people that you want to hone in on, that you have seen their feeds and you're like, this could be a business builder. Or you've seen them post something like, I really think they could benefit from these products, or both, whatever. And anytime prior to posting a Plexus post on your Instagram, you want to be interacting on those 10 people's feeds for sure. Because then, whether it's in their story or their post, because then that Plexus post you make will for sure show up on their feed, okay? Very similar to Facebook, same thing. If you make a specific friends list and you interact with those people prior to making your post. But a great way to keep those people organized is I'll like screenshot their Instagram page and I'll send that to myself in a direct message on Instagram. So I have this screenshot of these names and the pictures of these people that they're my dream teamers. I would love, they're my top 10 people. And I make sure anytime before I'm doing a Plexus post specifically, I go in and I am engaging with their posts so that they for sure have my posts pop up on their feed. And then I'm just loving on people. I'm constantly in people's stories. I'm engaging in their polls and things. I'm responding to people who engage in mine, because very similar to Facebook also, it's all about the number of comments that you have. When you make that Instagram post, there's a 20-minute crucial window that you have to kind of like help that little birdie off the ground to fly, okay? If you don't have a ton of comments on your posts in those first 20 minutes, chances are it's not showing up on a decent amount of your network's feeds. So a way to do that, and this is something I wanted to suggest we can maybe even chat about with the Live Your Purpose team, we could start like, like a Boss Babes thread on Instagram that we share our Plexus posts to when we post them. And then when people see that come up in their direct message, we all go and comment on it. And, we do that for each other. And that is going to boost the eyes that are on your post. So yes, Plexus people are the ones seeing it and commenting first, but they're getting it to be seen in everybody else's feeds, because the more comments, the better. And the quicker you get the comments in those first 20 minutes, the better. So that is what I have for you. It's 2:06. I went an hour. So sorry. I had so much to share with you. I'm going to go back through the chat and see if anyone asked a question while I was talking. And if you have a question and you want to unmute yourself, go ahead. I saw, okay, Heather got back in. Yay. Oh, good. So Shelby found the retouch, I'm assuming is what you're talking to. It's available on Google Play. I'm not sure which one you mean by that. When you say ring light, do you have a recommendation of a really good one? Okay. Who was that? Leanne. Yeah, so Leanne, I can send you, so I bought mine off Amazon and it was $100. Okay, so yeah, that's an investment. But when I tell you, I should invent my own ring light and sell it, because I cannot tell you how many people I have had buy the ring light since I have bought it. And it's $100, but it's like a one-time buy. It's amazing. I have it behind me right now, or I would show it to you. But what I'll do is on the Live Your Purpose page on my link to this call, I'll put the Amazon link. But it is $100, but it, in my opinion, is worth every penny. Believe me, between a ring light and a preset, you might as well be a professional photographer. Okay, so do you recommend us going back through and deleting our photos? Good question. On Instagram that aren't preset bright. Okay, I had that question when I started venturing into this, making my Instagram professional. And the person that I was doing a training with said, it's up to you. It's your Instagram page. But I left it just so I could kind of look back and see the progress. We're not perfect. And once you get all these pictures on there, I highly doubt there's going to be a ton of people that scroll all the way back to see your beginning photos. If they do, they must be stuck at home with coronavirus. I don't know. It's like nobody's going to do that. Nobody has time to sit there and go back through all your photos. So it's totally up to you. I mean, like I said, the person that I did the training through when I first learned about presets suggested to just leave them there, kind of look at like how far you've come sort of thing. But if you want to get rid of them, you can kind of clean up the trash. Not that your pictures are trash. I didn't mean it that way, but you know what I mean. Like kind of clean up the look. Noticing the difference. Good. Currently looking too. Video shop. Okay. And then Kayla said video shop has a free version. My Instagram stories used to upload right to Facebook story and now it doesn't. Not sure what happened. Just make sure, I'm going to come back to that, Amber. Hold on one second. Oh, somebody answered it for you. Make sure Facebook is connected. Yes. Okay. Oh yeah, business expense, Kim. 100%. Yes, the ring light. Absolutely. Write that sucker off. Okay. Whew. So anyone have a question that I didn't answer in that chat? I know that was so much information. That's why I said, if you didn't print this out, pretty much everything I just said is here. There's a couple blanks, but if you go to it now, you'll probably remember. But if you don't, just message me and I can tell you what the answers are. So, all right, I'm gonna stop the recording.